So we talked about user. Okay, we must keep in mind the identity of user, from which part of the world the user belongs. Okay, this is very important. Second is about computer. It sounds so easy, like what is computer, we use it daily, what's important to read about it? But we must know the techniques and the science behind this interaction. Okay, these are two complete entities, and there is a strong relationship between human and computer, and psychologically it plays very important role. Okay, if your laptop is not working, you cannot work properly. Okay, yeah, if your laptop is not speedy enough, it's do not have good speed, you cannot work properly on it. Is it so?
Yes.
So it means you have a relationship with your system that affects your mood. It can affect your sleep. Okay, so it's actually a very vital part of our life now. So when we talk about the computers, we are referring to any technology ranging from desktop computers to large scale computer system. For example, if we are discussing the design of website, then the website itself would be referred to as the computer. Okay, computer can be any application, any technology used. Okay, devices such as mobile phone or VCR can also be considered as computer. So computer is anything, any digital technology we are using, any digital technology. Okay, your VCR, your mobile phone, the websites, Google, everything, we will call it computer. So when we say we are discussing human computer interaction, we are actually interacting with the new technologies. And what is the interaction? There is obvious differences between human and machine. Definitely there is obvious difference. There is a language barrier. There must be a
Hmm.
translator, okay, between them, between two entities, human and computer. In spite of these, HCI, that means human computer interaction, attempts to ensure that both get on with each other and interact successfully. Okay, human computer interaction, HCI, is responsible for the smooth interaction between human and computers by developing strategies. In order to achieve a usable system, you need to apply what you know about humans and computers and consult with likely users throughout the design process. Okay, in real
Hmm.
system, the schedule and the budget are important, and it is vital to find a balance between what would be ideal for the user and what is feasible in reality. Okay, in whenever we want to design anything, so we make its feasibility report. In the feasibility report, we see what are the ideal condition, how good we can make create this system, but keeping ourselves in a limited budget. So if you want to develop a website must be good enough, but it must be within the budget. There is no use of making a very good website which is the best among all, but it's so costly that no one is going to buy it. Okay, same like it is no use to make to design a very amazing mobile phone which has very high speed, but no one in the world is able to buy it. So we must see the market that are, if we develop an HCI, human computer interaction, or any app or any social media platform or any website, people must be able to use it easily. That will be our success. Okay,
Hmm.
for example, if a book is so good, it's so well written, but it's not very cheap and it's not available to all the public, it's of no use. That's why pirated editions of the different books are made, so that people can buy it and people can read it. That is a success measure, KPI of a success of any book. Okay, what are the goal of HCA? Okay, what by human computer interaction, if I want to develop a system in which by which a human and computer can interact, what are the goals, what can I achieve? Understand the factor that determine how people use technology. Okay, this is important. I must understand that how people use technology. Old age people perceive technology differently, young people perceive technology differently, and the babies, they are very fast learner, they perceive technology differently. I must consider these things. Okay, second, develop
Okay.
tools and techniques to enable building suitable system. Okay, whatever techniques I'm going to design my HCI, that must be building suitable system. For building suitable system means they must be appropriate and easy to use for all the public. and they must be in budget. Achieve efficient, effective, and safe interaction. Okay, but what I
Hmm.
want, I want to design a HCI which can develop efficient, effective, and safe interaction between computer. Whenever I want to give any instruction to computer, it can easy my system can easily decode it, and my system easily understands what I want to say. For example, if you're using any mobile phone and your touch got if you drop your mobile phone and you crack your screen, what happened?
Hmm.
Your touch is not enable. If you want
Yes.
to touch the home screen, it touch the back screen and you get nothing. So on your mobile is iPhone 12X Pro. Okay, what will you do it?
Hmm.
What will you do from it? Are you going to use it without repairing?
After no, it
Why?
needs to be fixed.
Why? That's iPhone 12X Pro. That's the best phone in the world. Why you're not going to use it?
Maybe because it's expensive.
Okay, it is expensive, but it's not efficient. Okay, it's not effective. So my
Yes.
system must be efficient and effective. You're getting my point?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. The fourth one is put people first. You must know what people want. Okay. You must know what people
Hmm.
want from your system. Okay. Underlying the whole theme of HCI is the belief that people using a computer system should come first. Computer system is not using people. People are using computer system. So computer system must be modified according to people. People must not be modified according to computer system. Okay, you cannot say, okay, I have made this system, this is very difficult, so what, people will learn or people have to learn. No, you must modify your system according to your audience. Okay,
Hmm.
their needs, capabilities, and preferences for conducting various tasks should direct developers in the way that the design systems. People should not have to change the way they use a system in order to fit in with it. Instead, the system should be designed to match their requirements. Okay, this is a goal of HCI. Okay, what is usability? Usability is one of the key concept of HCI. It is concerned with making system easy to learn and use. A usable system is easy to learn. It should you should easily learn it. Okay, the company if a company buys your any application or any website, your website should be easy to use. They should not hire
Hmm.
a professional to get its staff trained to use your website. No, you see, Facebook is very easy to use. That's why it
Yes.
has
Very good
more
for you.
audience.
Hmm.
WhatsApp is very easy to use. That's why it has much larger amount of audience. In contrast, Twitter is not very easy to use. That is why it comparatively have less audience than Facebook. Second, easy to remember how to use. Okay, you must not forget the steps. They should have small number of steps. Okay, less number of steps to post anything, to design anything. Effective to use, efficient to use. Your system must be effective and efficient. Safe to use. Okay, your privacy must not be breached. Enjoyable to use, you must enjoy how you are using it. Okay, it must not be a trouble for you whenever you think about a website and you say, oh no, that is very difficult. If I have to use it, I must be like mentally prepared because it is so difficult to use and I must have to remember the steps. No, you must not. For example, a, a normal person logs in Facebook about 11 times a day. Okay, 11
Hmm.
times a day a normal person logs into Facebook. So Facebook is very easy to use. Every person knows how to share, how to write a post. All the features are on your home screen. Okay, within a touch you can do anything. That is very easy to use. Second, it is efficient and effective. It does the task very easily, very fastly. Okay, it's easy to learn. You can see many illiterate people who doesn't even know how to write are using Facebook very easily. Even the old age people are using Facebook, so it is easy to learn as well. Okay, Actually, these are the components of HCI: usability, acceptable, accessibility, and adaptability. We'll learn about usability. And now, what is accessibility? Access means to reach anything. Okay, people will be excluded from
Mm-hmm.
access's interactive system for a number of reasons. Okay, why people cannot access a system? Why is this feature important? There are some constraints: physical, conceptual, economical, cultural, and social. How? See, these are the physical constraints. You can see in the picture a person
Mm-hmm.
is on wheelchair and his hand cannot reach the ATM machine or this machine. So this is his physical constraint. He cannot reach there. Then how can he use it? The designer of
Yes.
the system must keep in mind that that disabled or specially abled person also have to use this machine. So this part of machine should be of such length that a normal or specially abled people all can use it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Inappropriate setting of equipment, input and output devices making excessive demands in their abilities. For example, it can be difficult to use. It asks so many information that a person with mental disability cannot go through it. For example, an ATM may be positioned too high for a person on a wheelchair to reach. A mouse may be too big for a child's hand, or mobile may be too fiddly for someone with arthritis to use. Okay, these are physical constraints. A designer must be keep these things in mind. Second is
Mm-hmm.
conceptually. For example, a person cannot understand the instruction. What does it want to say? Whenever you go to ATM, it gives simple instructions. But at some in some other ATMs, their instructions are very difficult to handle. So you avoid going. It's you say no, I will go to some other ATM which is more easy to use. Okay, obscure commands and cannot form a clear mental model of the system. Sometimes we may get confused in different websites. Some websites
Yes.
are very confusing, so we avoid using them. For example, I never understand Pinterest. Whenever I get any link related to Pinterest, I suddenly turn it off because I know I cannot understand it. That is very difficult to use.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Other is economically. Okay, you have designed something and that is so costly that people cannot buy it. What is the use of making or designing such high price gadget? There's no use. So this is economical constraint. Third is cultural exclusion. As I told you earlier, designer making inappropriate assumption about how people work and organize their lives. For example, a interface or any app you're using in America, you cannot use the same in UAE, or you cannot use the same in Africa. For example, using a metaphor based on American football would exclude those who do not understand the game. Exactly. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Social exclusion. What is are the social equipment is unavailable at an appropriate time and place? Yes. Equipment has some time bounds. It's not a it's For example, it is designed by American time, and in America it's
Okay.
just 12 from morning 9 to evening 5 it's available.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, in other countries that time is maybe of midnight. So this is social exclusion. People cannot interact with each other. People are not member of particular social group and cannot understand particular social modes or messages. Okay, I'll give you example. You see memes on Facebook. Okay,
Yes, yes.
you see memes. Okay, if you ever had any experience that you showed these memes to an older person, they do not get it.
Mm.
Okay, before Facebook, we didn't know that such meme exist. Okay, so if someone shows us before that, we say, okay, we don't know what is it. What is it? This is just picture or some random words. We do
Yes.
not understand it. That is actually the social gap. Now we have a specific state of mind that is why we are able to understand those memes. Otherwise, if a person is unaware of all these things, he is unable to understand all these. Okay. Approach to designing for accessibility. Okay, design must be accessible for everyone. Design must be simple and easy to use. You see big brands, they do not use different groups of colors. Facebook just have two colors, blue and white, you see.
Hmm.
And many big bridges, for example, WhatsApp earns a lot of money by this simple interactive app. It just have two simple colors and very easy to use, so the design is very easy. In Facebook as well, the design and the all the graphics are very easy. Overcoming these barriers to access is the key design to consideration. Two main approaches. What are the two main approaches? Design for all. There must be a universal design. It should not happen that when if you are using Facebook in KSA, the interface is different. If you are using in Pakistan, the interface is different. No, because if you travel from one place to another, what will you do? Are you going to learn how to use that app every time when you travel? No, it should not. Okay, the design for all,
Hmm.
and the design must be inclusive. We are going to discuss more about design. Okay, the design must this. Okay, we are going to learn about varying ability. Varying ability is the ability to change. It is not a special condition of few, but a common characteristic of being human, and we change physically and intellectually through our lives. If a design works well for people with disability, it works better for everyone. The design must be so that disabled people also can use it. At any point in our life, personal self esteem, identity, and well being are deeply affected by our ability to function in our physical surrounding with a sense of comfort, independence, and control. Usability and aesthetics are mutually compatible. I'll give you example. Okay, I see a person who don't have legs and is on wheelchair, and another person who is completely fit. Okay, so
Hmm.
they have to reach on a roof. So it's clear that the person who is fit, he can go to the roof by using the stairs or the ladder, and the other
Hmm.
wheelchair, the other person is disabled. But let's take an example. What if I remove the stair or the ladders? There is no way to reach on roof. Now both are disabled, although one have legs and one do not, but both are disabled. Why? Because the transport is gone. So disability is just a condition where a person is unable to do a task. It most of the time doesn't have to do with physical disabilities. If we provide enough resources, a physical disabled man can do exactly the same output as an able man. So disability is nothing. My design must be so that a person with disabilities can use it. If a person with disabilities can use it, then obviously an enabled person can use it as well, because they have
Yeah.
more stamina and other things. Okay, what are the factor of HCI? There's a large number of factors which should be considered in the analysis and design of a system using HCI principle. Okay, Najwa, I want you to read all these, please.
I
Okay,
finished reading.
done. Okay,
Yes.
let's come to environmental factor. Okay, let me give you an
Okay.
example. I am designing a mobile phone. Okay,
Yeah.
I am for its body, I am using a metal which cannot tolerate heat. Okay, which cannot tolerate
Hmm.
about, for example, 40 degrees centigrade. Okay, I have designed the mobile phone and I send it to, for example, Dubai. Okay,
Hmm.
the temperature in Dubai is very high most of the time. So what will happen? Maybe the my system will not work good there. Maybe the body of my mobile phone get D-shaped. So this
Oh,
is
okay.
what I ignored, the environmental
Hmm.
factor while manufacturing, and I face the consequences after its making and during its usability. Okay, same as for
Hmm.
my, let's take the same example. I designed a mobile phone. Okay, and I have used some material in it, which gets sparked when the system is heated. Okay, So it is
Okay.
not a safety measure. It is not a safety measure. I have used any metal which gets so hot when it is opened or exposed to heat, so it may can burn hands. So what is that? I did
Mm.
not take care of environmental factors. So these there are environmental, for example, if you have designed an ATM machine and if it is exposed to
Mm.
rain or lighting, it get blast or it get, you know
Yes.
it stop
Yes.
working. It is of no use because an ATM machine is
Okay.
placed outside. It must have to go through different seasons. You getting me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So these are the environmental factors.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
moving
Got it.
to the next slide. Okay, what are the principle of universal design? Okay, what a universal design must have? A universal design is an optimal design. An optimal is like it's a best position. An optimal position is the best position, best for
Okay.
both the computer and the user, budget friendly as well. So it must be equitable. The design does not disadvantage or stigmatize any group of user. Okay, all group of user can use it with equal efficiency. Flexibility in use. The design accommodate a wide range of individual preferences and abilities. It must be flexible to use. Like if a feature is not good enough, it must be so flexible that the designer can change it or modify it. Simple intuitive use. Use of the design is easy to understand regardless of the user experience, knowledge, language skills, or current concentration level. Okay, the design must be easy to understand. For example, when the mobile phone was invented, so it was kept in mind that older people are going to use it as well, and young people and the kids. So you must take care of all the mental level of people, language skills. Okay, precipitable information. The designed communication necessary information effectively to the user regardless of ambient condition or the user's sensory abilities. Okay, the information must be delivered easily to all the users. Okay, I have read about a person who was totally blind, and he first introduced the app which can read. Like if you put your mobile phone near any text, the system will automatically detect the text and read it for the
Oh.
person. So it was very useful for the person who are blind. And it is now used in most of the mobile phones, and that app is also available on Play Store as well. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, tolerance for error. The designer minimize hazards and the adverse consequences of accidental unintended actions. Okay, your device must be able, or your app or any computer. I will use the word computer from onwards for websites, application, or any technologies. Okay, so your computer must be tolerant
Okay.
for error. It can handle the error. If any error comes, your system must be able to cope up with it. Low physical effort. Okay,
Mm.
you, the physical effort should be low. The first computer was introduced by Charles Babbage, and after that the first computational computer, that was manual. Like if you had to perform any task, you or the a person had to get up from its seats, go to the back of the system and put on the switches, and then came back and do all the procedures. And if he has to done another task, he again go back to the main system and change the switches, plug in and plug out, and came back and do all the calculations. This was done in early times with the computer, and now we don't have to use it because it was very much physical effort, and now we have very low physical effort. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Size and space for approach and use. Yes, this is very important. Your computer must be size friendly, space friendly, and user friendly. For example, if you want to buy, why okay, tell me why the tabs are not tablets are not as much popular as mobile phones or
There,
Mac notebook.
maybe because the size.
Okay, yes, their size is a major reason. Okay, you cannot easily handle them everywhere. You can grab your mobile phone in your hand and go anywhere, but you cannot grab a MacBook or any tablet and you can run freely. It is very difficult to even hear a call
Mm-hmm.
and listen a call on a
Yes, yes,
tablet
yes.
or
Then
Mac
you
phone.
have to connect the headphones, and it's like a long process.
Yeah, it's a very long process. Appropriate size and space are provided for approach, reach, manipulation, and use, regardless of the user body size, posture, and mobility. You must have seen desktop computers.
Yes, yes.
They have big size and they are very difficult to move. That is why they are not very preferred. People usually prefer to use laptops anywhere except the computational work. They are not very friendly with the computational work. So the size of the system matters a lot. Okay, ensuring an accessible system. Okay, the system must be accessible to everyone and a designer have to ensure it. As a way of ensuring an accessible system, the designer should include people with special needs in requirements, analysis, and testing of existing system. As we discussed before, my system must be accessible to all the users, like I
Mhm.
show you here.
Yes.
Okay, this was not accessible for everyone, so my system must be accessible to everyone. Consider whether new features affect user with special needs positively or negatively, and note this in specifications. Okay, you must know if you are adding any new feature in your system. Either it will definitely affect people. A designer or a team of designers behind the computer must know how that change is affecting people, and is it affecting people positively or negatively. Their feedback is important. Okay, if the feedback is negative, the system must be flexible enough to change it. Take an example of WhatsApp privacy policy we had heard in previous days.
Yes, recently.
So
Yes.
everyone was like, no, we are not going to we will stop using WhatsApp, and they found some alternative of another of other apps who will not use their data. What
Mm.
WhatsApp showed much flexibility and delayed the process. So this is how the feedback of the people works and pressurize on a different systems or different computers. Take
Mm-hmm.
account of guideline, including evaluation against guidelines. Okay, every system, your computer must contains guideline. Okay, how to use it. Include special need user in usability testing and beta test. Okay, we will learn about beta test, but during the testing, your system must test the usability of special people, people with different
Okay.
disabilities, people with speech disability, physical disability, or any other disabilities. My system,
They do this for systems
yes, the system.
nowadays. Like
Sorry.
they do this nowadays, like for any system they're making.
Yes, yes, it is a very important part of any procedure. Okay, let me tell you an example. It was I heard it when I was in masters. So the inventor of iPhone, he he
Okay.
he was when he was student, he used to learn calligraphy. Okay, calligraphy is a piece of art. Okay, you write
Mm-hmm.
different verses of
Yes,
Quran
yes,
or
I know
Arabic
that.
in a very beautiful pattern. So
Mm.
he learned perfection in calligraphy. Calligraphy is a is a task of perfection. So when the first iPhone brought to him, that this is the first model of the phone we had made, that person had a glass of water. He put the phone in a glass of water and few bubbles came out. So he
Okay.
said this is not perfectly integrated, as you see there are some air spaces in it. Make it so compact that there is not even a single air air space in the system in this mobile phone.
Mm.
And now Apple, the iPhone from Apple is one of the mobile phone which do not have air spaces in them. I don't know about the recent designs, but it was true for the previous models, that they do not have air spaces in them. And that person said that I have learned such perfection from calligraphy. because these are the example of testing. Means when the mobile systems are designed, they are put in heat ovens and cold temperature, 0 degree temperature, below zero degree temperature. All these testing are done with all the
Mm-hmm.
mobile phones and all the gadgets, all the computers. Why? Because they have to sustain in very difficult environment. They are going to be sent in different part of the world. Okay, so this is actually a testing
Yes.
techniques in different processes. So now, coming back to the lecture, we have read about HCI. We have read about HCI. Okay, its definition, its part. There are three parts of HCI. What are the goals of HCI? What I want to achieve? I want to develop a system which is safe and easily efficient. Okay, then we have read about the components of HCI. There are three components:
Mm-hmm.
usability, accessibility, and adaptability. We have read about usability. It must be easy to use, friendly to use. For example, for like WhatsApp, it must be accessible to everyone, people with abilities, with disabilities,
Mm-hmm.
with needs, special needs. It must be available to all the people, belong to different culture, different languages, different. Okay, so the culture or such barriers should not limit the use of technology. Okay, then we see different examples of physical constraints or physical disability. Then the conceptual disability. Okay, conceptual disability differs from place to place. Okay, it has been proven that people belong to different parts of the world have different mental caliber. Economically, it should not be very costly, because if it doesn't matter how good a system is, if no one is going to buy it, we must take care of business as well. Then we read about cultural exclusion, that the designer making different computers must take care of the cultural gap or cultural constraints. Social exclusion, it must be like people of every group and every age can use it. Okay, what was the approach? We read about the approach to designing for accessibility. A system can be accessible and good enough if it is universal and the people from every part of the world can use it effectively. We must design, so we aside design for all, because if a disabled person can use it, a normal person can use it as well. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we read about the factors which can affect HCI. There are
Yeah.
organization factor, environmental factor, user
Mm-hmm.
factor, comfort, user interface, task factors,
Mm-hmm.
constraints, system functionalities, and productivity factors. Then we read about the principle. What are the principle of universal design? On which points the universal design must consider? Okay, these are the universal designs, 7 universal designs. Then how can we ensure that our system is accessible? So we see there are 4 points we must take care of, and if these 4 points are good, then our system is accessible and easy to use for everyone. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I have shared the slides with you in the group. Very easy course. This course and the course Introduction to Technology. These are very easy course, most theory based. Okay, you just have to read
Mm-hmm.
it carefully, and there's no need, to get it memorized. This is very easy. You just
Thank you
okay.
so much.
Thank you.
Allah Hafiz.
Lafis. Okay. You can leave the class. Lafis.
Allah Hafiz.